So let's talk about your bump in the night setup and why chances are it only contains a firearm. Greetings viewers, if you clicked on the video link, you're here to talk about things that go bump in the night and what you should have with you to handle whatever situation may be causing said bump. So you could probably go on YouTube and find 100 different videos of people talking about telling you what you need to arm yourself with in the event that there's something that's happening in your house that's not supposed to be when everybody's supposed to be asleep. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you need to have a shotgun or a rifle or a pistol or a blunderbuss loaded with all the kitchen utensils in it. That's not going to be the point of this video. Again, that topic has kind of been hashed and rehashed again and again, so my take on your weapon choice for things that go bump in the night is going to be whatever's comfortable for you. Whatever you can manipulate and handle easily and operate effectively while inside the confines of your house, whatever you prefer and are comfortable with, that's going to be good enough. Now, what I'm here to talk about is the part of the stuff that you may be missing or not thinking about, because I like to generate those questions and make you kind of think a little bit deeper and maybe outside the box and the norm of what other people do and tell you that you need to do. So let's picture this. Let's do one of those fantasy scenarios that we have when you're standing there in the shower and your brain has nothing else better to do. You hear something in the middle of the night, you get up, you go to investigate with your favorite, trusty, most comfortable, handy firearm available. You end up getting into a shootout with some bad guys in your house. You take care of business, they run off, whatever have you, but you're hit in the middle of said firefight. We're not invincible, despite what many of us tend to believe. So your significant other has done what you told them to do and barricaded themselves somewhere, and they are not coming out until you knock on the door and give them the passcode. But the problem is you're downstairs or all the way across the house, or you're by yourself and you're slowly bleeding out because you were hit in a spot that likes to empty your body very quickly of blood, which you need to survive. You have all the fanciest high-tech medical gear in the world, but it's on the other side of the house and you can't quite get to it. And you've got about 30 to 40 seconds before you're unable to help yourself anymore, and you're definitely going to require assistance from somebody else. So if this is something that you have not thought of, hopefully that kind of sparked a little light bulb in your brain a little bit and is going to kind of make you think, because when we head out into the world, we have all of our things with us. You've got your EDC gear, you've got your go bag, your get home bag, your bug out bag, whatever it is that you carry with you when you go places, and we're prepared when we leave the house. But the problem is we get a little bit comfortable when we're home. And you know, they always say that you get into an accident when you're closer to home because you feel more comfortable. And you know, I know this route, I've driven it 100 times. Well, just because you have all this fancy, expensive equipment and gear in your house, is it accessible when you need it? Just like if you're in the shower when the bad guys break in and you don't have a gun in the shower, all those guns that you have spread out throughout your house or locked up in your safe aren't really doing you any good, are they? So same thing in the scenario that I presented. And again, you don't know what you're going to be walking into. If you hear a noise, it could be anything from if you have a cat and they're knocking stuff off of shelves, breaking your things. It could be somebody breaking in. It could be some buddies. It could just be a family member coming home or somebody sneaking in to surprise you. I just watched a video recently. It wasn't something negative on the internet for once. A graduating class actually snuck into the house of their teacher who was retiring, and when she woke up in the morning to come downstairs, there they all were crashed out, and they came in at 1 in the morning. So what would have happened if retiring teacher lady came down with a firearm because she heard some stuff going on and knew that people weren't supposed to be in her house? So how to handle threats in your house is going to be a different story we can cover in a different topic. If that's something that you're interested, I'd be glad to give my take on it. However, again, what I'm here to talk about is something in addition to said firearm, again, that you are going to take with you when you're investigating a strange noise in your house. It could be anything from people to a bear breaking in to just some dishes settling in the dish drainer. But we don't know what we're walking into, so we want to be prepared. Having the gun's great to handle those kind of threats, but once the dust has settled and things have calmed down and we can assess the situation, there may be a few more things that help you put in your toolbox to make your expedition into the dark a little bit more peace of mind, and again, help the outcome better be in your favor. As you can see, I'm coming to you live from where I sleep and where I have my stuff set up. I do currently have a rifle that's sitting here next to the bed. Again, insert your weapon of choice here. That's irrelevant for this particular video. But then what I have here, this is actually a 511 bailout bag. I'm not a big fan of the tan color. I'd prefer it in green, but I got what was available at the time. It's a small little bag. You can call it a merce or whatever you want. It's just got a single strap that you can throw on over you. and load up with goodies. I've got some extra mags in here and some other stuff in here I want to show you and talk about that I think could be pertinent maybe to you. Again, we hope that we never have to use any of this stuff, but we know that we like to have it nearby and accessible. So your situation is going to obviously be different than everybody else's. You may have a significant other or somebody or some people that you live with that are able to help you respond to scenarios or have assigned duties if something happens, whatever, or maybe you live alone. So you're going to kind of need to plan accordingly based on your particular scenario. But again, I'm just going to give you some ideas and things to think about and roll around in your brain so that you can best adapt and suit them to your needs. So let's take a look inside the bag here. So right off the bat, we've got some extra mags, because if you're not aware, ammo goes quick in a firefight, and I would definitely rather have more than not enough. So you can load these pouches up if you have this specific bag or something similar with as much ammo for whatever weapons as you want, or maybe throw some snacks in there while you're waiting for the police to arrive after you've handled business. So let's open it up. We've got a couple things in here. So the first one's medical gear. We've got tourniquets, some combat gauze, some bandages, things that may be needed, again, to stop the bleeding, because once your blood runs out or gets to a certain point, you're not functioning anymore, you're not doing anybody any good. You can load, as much medical gear as you want in here. I don't care about the bad guys. They're low on the priority of lives. However, let's again go back to, there's a shootout. Well, bad guys don't really care where they're aiming, and bullets are spraying, and perhaps maybe your aim isn't where it needs to be when your adrenaline's pumping and something's actually happening. And maybe one tourniquet's not going to be enough. Maybe you need more than one for you, or maybe you and your significant other or somebody else in another room that was sleeping and had nothing to do with any of this got hit and is in need of some medical care, and one tourniquet's not enough. So pack as many as you want in there. I'm going to cover medical equipment and tourniquet usage in another video, so stay tuned for that. But again, just for your specific scenario or whatever comes up in your mind, medical gear, having it handy, because again, you're downstairs, you're across the house, you're nowhere near the life-saving medical equipment that you need right now, and perhaps wherever you were hit or how you were hurt or knocked down, whatever the situation is, you're not going to make it in time to get back to the stuff that you spent all your hard-earned money on, prepared for that day that you were going to need it, and now you need it and you can't get to it. You can't communicate with the people that you need to bring it to you. Cell phone. So obviously I wouldn't just leave this laying in a bag. It sits up here on the nightstand when I'm sleeping charging, but it's very easy. If you're going to grab this with one hand and something like this and sling it over, grab your phone, throw it in a mag pouch. This pouch is open. There, I've got my phone with me. Now, again, I'm laying on the floor, something bad has happened, I don't have anybody in the house that can communicate, or I'm down across the house and I need to get in touch with my significant other or whoever's in the house. I can call while I'm laying there on the floor and I'm still conscious and say, hey, bring me the medical supplies. Hey, come help me, I'm down. Again, same thing, you're by yourself, you can call your neighbor, you can call another family member that may be close that can get to you faster than EMS or police, and then you can also contact 911 as needed and give them updated information on the situation. Having that handy is going to make your life a lot easier than, again, it being across the house and you wishing you had it with you. Keep a pouch open, toss it in there, and you've got it. Something else that maybe you don't think about, because again, in these scenarios, we always win and we always smoke the bad guy. Well, so a lot of times when people get shot, they usually tend to stop what they're doing and either, again, get that fight or flight. So if they don't take off or they fall down or they're hit in a spot where they can't actually physically get away, but they've now surrendered. I'm not telling you how to handle this situation. However, if you're showing mercy, some sort of restraints, whatever form or fashion, you can use handcuffs. Just make sure if you go that route that you actually have a handcuff key in the event that it's needed, because for whatever reason. We've got some flex cuffs. These are very light and easy and compact, so you can carry multiple sets, because we know that wolves travel in packs. They're not always by themselves, so you may need more than one option in that area. Again, I'm not telling you how to handle every specific situation, but just again, like prepping, being prepared with a firearm, we can be prepared with other supplies and things that we have them available if the situation ever presents itself. So am I telling you to go out and you need to buy a 511 bailout bag and this is what you're going to keep by your bedside with all the stuff that I told you to put in there? No, again, that you're never going to hear me tell you what you need to do. Just giving you some ideas. It doesn't have to be this particular piece of equipment. It's handy, it's nice, it's small, it has plenty of space and pockets for all the things that I'm going to need, so it works for my specific use case. If maybe the price tag on something like that, because 511 is definitely proud of their stuff, may not fall into your budget, you can just use a JanSport backpack. Have a big pouch, throw all your crap in there, and then if you need it, you can get into it and have access to all the things. And again, you can have another pocket available on the back for your phone. So ideally, when we get up in the middle of the night, we would have a full kit running, and we've got body armor, we've got all the items that I've shown you and explained, and again, we're protected, so we want to be prepared. We've got that firearm to send rounds downrange, but what happens to those rounds that are coming back at us? This isn't going to stop bullets. This is just extra supplies that I throw on and have available if I need them. Chances are maybe you've already got a battle belt set up, and what better place and time than throwing that on real quick. This is a HSGI padded belt. One snap on the front, and I've now armed myself with a pistol and everything that I've got set up on here, or you in your situation will have set up, whether it's medical equipment, more ammunition, a weapon that you can actually holster, because there's another thing. You're running around the house with a rifle with two hands, you need to set it down to do something, to go hands-on, or you're trying to help your family, maybe there's a bad guy still on the loose, you don't want to set your weapon down. Running a belt with a pistol, if that's your weapon of choice when it comes to bumping the night, you can holster up, especially if you've got some sort of extra retention on there, use your hands as needed, something comes up, transition back to having a firearm in your hands. So again, we can cover the pros and cons of each different weapon system all day long, and definitely in another video, perhaps in the future, but we're gonna stick with, again, just the general ideas that I'm trying to present to you. Again, to get that hamster in your brain spinning and maybe come up with some ideas on your own, or things and ways that you can implement the stuff that I've mentioned. So the cons of running a belt: if you're not used to wearing some sort of duty belt or something around your waist, you are going to be a little bit wider. If you're trying to sneak around in the dark on somebody, you've got to be a little bit more careful maneuvering around furniture and through doorways, because everything on this belt is going to smash into everything that you're going to come close to and start knocking stuff over. So something to think about there. But again, just an idea to easily put things accessible to you, keep your hands free if needed, but also have access to any of the stuff you want. Same thing with the phone. If you have an extra rifle magazine pouch on your belt that your phone will fit into, excellent. Leave that pouch open, get up, shove your phone in there, and get going to see what that noise was that you heard. Maybe overkill to some, but a plate carrier, some sort of armor system with access to all your ammo and maybe some extra pouches and things where you can store some extra gear. I keep my flex cuffs on the back of this, and I have them oriented this way, so all I have to do is reach underneath behind me and I can start pulling these things out. Now, it is maybe a little bit more of a pain in the butt to feed the tail end in there. However, they are easier to access and they're not flopping around all over my stuff, catching on everything that I walk by. So again, if you've already got this kind of gear, think about, instead of it sitting around in your safe or storage place, wherever you keep your gear when it's not in use, and you just bust it out to look cool and play in front of the mirror or go out and shoot some competitions or train on the range, try implementing it in real life. Again, you don't know what that sound was that you heard. You open your door, you go downstairs, you start investigating, and you find out there's 3, 5 guys in your house and they're all armed. Well, guess what? If they start shooting, you've at least got some sort of protection when it comes to this option. And it may be silly and it may seem like overkill and you may get some funny looks from your spouse, but you know what? If something ever happens, I have a feeling those funny looks are going to go away, and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful that you had that, because you're still here and alive for me to talk to. So again, I'm not telling you to keep a full battle rattle set next to your bed ready to go every night. It's not a bad idea, but also think about the amount of time it's going to take for you to arrange and throw everything on. This is, again, why I've kind of boiled my system down to a simple bag, and I can add and take stuff out as needed if something else comes up that I think of, extra flashlight, whatever I need, I can toss it in this bag. I have plenty of space and pouches available, and it's as simple as doing this to get it on, grab my gun, and I'm ready to go. So just another quick video, again, covering some things that I feel like need covering, because so many videos out there, everything's circling just around firearms, but we want to be prepared, we want to be ready for all these scenarios, so that I'm just giving you some ideas and things you can put in your toolbox to be a little bit better prepared while in your own home. So hopefully you guys found something useful, educational, entertaining in this video. As always, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below if there's anything you think I missed or you disagree with, or something else that you'd like to see me cover in a future video. I do work a 40-hour-a-week job, so I try and get these things out for you as much as I can. Unfortunately, I don't have enough subscribers and views yet to get monetized, but if that ever happens one day, maybe things can change and I can be able to produce more and better content for you on a regular basis. So With that, I appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.